What's up guys? I think it's August 29th, August 30th. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my NFL Division rankings. We are nearing the start of the NFL season, and this is the first of two preseason videos I'm going to be making on this channel. The next one will be about fantasy football. Not sure when it's going to come out, probably the next week, at least before the season starts. Actually, probably before my draft. So yeah, expect that. Anyway, I'm going to go through here and just get right to the point. We're going to start with the AFC East. All right, let's do a quick rundown of the AFC East. We got the Jets at 12-5 coming in hot at first. I think the Jets this year, this is their year. This is at least their last chance for it to be their year. If they don't get something going this year, bearing any injury, even if Rodgers gets injured, it's over for the Jets. You have to wait another 20 years. I'm sorry. Rodgers stays healthy and they're clicking on all cylinders. That defense is going to be good no matter what. All right, and their O-line just gives Rodgers enough time to get it out to Garrett or anybody. And Breece Hall comes back, man. Comes back in the sense that comes back like he's good again, not that he's injured or anything. And that team, I know it's the Jets, but that's a good team right there. That is a good all-around football team. And yeah, I got them winning the division at 12-5. I have the Bills and the Dolphins both at 9-8. I have the Bills over the Dolphins in the standings. I think the Bills, like every other year, are just going to beat the Dolphins. Probably go up 2-0 on them. Bills, they're one of those teams that you just can't forget about nowadays. I mean, they're just one of those teams. You have to be ready that the Bills, and you have to accept the fact that the Bills could just be a good team again. And they could be a playoff team. They still have a top 5 quarterback. And when you have a top 5 quarterback, anything is possible. They still got a great defense. They got James Cook. They got young guys like Dalton Kincaid, that one of my favorite young tight ends right now in the league. To be honest, I love that guy. Yeah, and the Dolphins, I mean, they're a fun team. They got Reek. They got Waddle. I mean, they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be 9-8. They seem like a 9-8 team. They can get wins, but they don't have enough to get to that 10-11 win margin. Yeah, my phone storage is out, so I gotta record this on something else. But yeah, that's the AFC East. Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Pats. The only team I do think making the playoffs in this division are the Jets as division winners, as the 4 seed in the playoffs. All right, the AFC West now is going to be run by the Chiefs again at 12-5. They're obviously a Super Bowl contender. They're going to be, unless they show otherwise. They're going to be 12-5. It's just a good team. They got Mahomes, they got Reed. There's nothing else really to say about them. We have the Chargers. See, this is where it gets interesting. Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. That's kind of up for grabs. I think the Raiders aren't going to be that good, and the Broncos are going to be half decent. You never know with the Broncos. I'm not doing this thing again this year where I feel like every year with the Broncos, I'm like, they're going to be sneaky good. They're going to be good. Watch out for the Broncos. And they never do shit. So I'm going with the Chargers at 10-7 to take second place in the division. Foreshadowing something, but they're probably going to make the playoffs in my eyes. And the Broncos at 7-10, which is being generous for them, to be honest. And the Raiders at 6-11. AFC North, this is a toss-up. I don't have enough to say the Bengals yet because of last season, but I think the Bengals are going to be really good. But I do have the Ravens taking this division again at 13-4. The highest seeded team so far in my rankings. Bengals at 11-6. Bengals are going to be good. Bengals are going to be good. Nothing to say there. They got Burr back, you know what I'm saying? Steelers, I worry about the Steelers in the AFC, but not enough to put them over that edge. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be 9-8 team. A pretty textbook 9-8 team, if you ask me. Then the Browns at 8-9. This is a very big dip for the Browns, but I want to see them do good, but the conference they're in, and I don't have confidence in them. I don't. They're not going to have Nick Chubb. They still do have some stud wide receivers. I will not lie, Amari Cooper. I'm not certain about their quarterback game. Their defense I am certain about, though. Their defense is just killer. I will admit that. But to be 8-9 in a great division like that, they're going to be competitive. They're going to be competitive. I'll say that about the Steelers and Browns. They are going to be competitive teams. Those are teams to watch out for sure. AFC South. This is a fun division. We got the Texans, Colts, Jags, and Titans. Titans and Jags might be on the same boat here. They're just not going to have enough in a division like this. I don't think so. I think the Jags are going to be better, hopefully, than how they ended last season, but I don't know about them. All I'll say is hopefully Trevor just does good and gets out whatever was wrong last year. So Texans at 13-4. Yeah, again, they're going to be one of the higher seeds here in the AFC. They're just such a good team. They're built beautifully right now. I know it almost seems like too many people are hyping them up, but it just seems too good to be true for them. Or opposite, too good to not be true. They're just too good of a team. They have too good of a roster to not prevail, if that makes sense. Colts at 10-7. They are going to be a sneaky playoff team for one of those lower wild card seeds. They're a good team. They are a good team. They have a trusty defense. I like Jonathan Taylor. I like him. And Anthony Richardson, I'm a little worried about Richardson. I was really high on him to begin last season and to begin this offseason, but I need to see something from him. I need to see a level of maturity, and I just need to see a good, mature game, because he is in his second year. I don't want to see him going out there, although it isn't his fault. I don't want to go and see him out there getting injured all the time and just playing stupid, nothing against him. Obviously, I really like him. But yeah, that's my stance. So the AFC playoffs should be looking a little like this. Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, Jets as those 4 division winners. And then the wild card, Bengals, Colts, Chargers. A pretty good division. A pretty good conference, to say the least. Some really good games. There's some games I see, if my prediction is correct, is Jets, Bengals, wild card in MetLife. That is a fun game. That's a fun game. That's a game I would love to be a part of, to be honest. 2 great defenses, 2 great quarterbacks going at it. That would be a really fun matchup. Almost perfect, to be honest. But this, what I will say is take these rankings with a grain of salt for sure. But yeah. All right, now it's time for the NFC. We'll start off with we'll do the same thing, East, West, North, South, like we did with the AFC. Starting out with the NFC East, it's like 2 really mediocre teams and 2 really good teams. Now it was a toss-up between the Cowboys and the Eagles here, but I do have the Eagles going 14-3 this year. At one point I had the Cowboys going 14-3. One point I had the Eagles, but I'm gonna flip-flop it. Actually, right here it says the Cowboys 14-3, but I'm flip-flopping it this year. There's too many unknowns with them. Cowboys 12-5. Hate it or love it. I don't want to look like a Cowboys glazer on this channel because of my other video, but 12-5. They're a good team. They got a good squad. Commanders 6-11. Giants 4-13. Not a lot to say about the Giants. Some things to say about the Commanders is that Daniels is going to be really good. Hopefully. My QB1. I have faith in him. I have a lot of faith in him. Other than that, Austin Eckler just getting I can see him being kind of a touchdown machine this year, to be honest. Even though Washington, I will say, might have a sneaky offense. They're not going to have enough to be competitive at all, to be honest, but they're going to win some games. Going on with the NFC West, this is another fun division because we got the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers, 2 really good teams. Three really good teams. 49ers at 12-5. You may think that's a little low, maybe want them in that 13-win range, but nonetheless, they're still going to be Super Bowl contenders. They're still a great team. They got, Kittle, McCaffrey, Brock, hate him or love him, he can still dish it out. They got that awesome defense, and that O-line is still there. So that, and they're keeping Debo. And Brandon Ayuk probably will stay, hopefully. Honestly, he's not going to the Patriots. For the sake of the 49ers, I would say hopefully he stays for you guys. Then I got the Rams and the Seahawks at the same record, similar to the AFC East. I'm at the same record, but I have the Rams winning those games against the Seahawks, and I have the Rams over them, and I have the Rams in the playoffs. And the Cardinals at 7-10. It's gonna be a lot better season for the Cardinals. I'm a little happy for the Cardinals this season. I think it's gonna be a good season for them. They got a decent squad put together. No reason why they shouldn't have less than 5 or 6 wins. NFC North, another one with the Green Bay and Detroit coming up. I think Detroit's taking the division. They got 13 wins this year. They are on a mission this year. They got a great coach to back them up for a season like this. They got Goff still going. They got St. Brown. Their defense only gets better every year, it seems. I see no reason why this team shouldn't have 13 wins on their record. Then it's the Packers at 11-6. That's a lot of wins for the Packers. That's a lot of wins. They're going to be in the playoffs, obviously. Bears are going to be all right, 7-10. I see them being a little competitive, but much like a lot of teams on here, just the best teams in the divisions are really good, really outweighs. We're not having like fake divisions like how the NFC South was for a couple of years. There's going to be a lot of teams. So for a team like the Bears, a good season, 7-10, but they're not really going to make any noise. Vikings, this season's going to be rough. And I almost feel like I'm being nice to you guys, putting you guys at 5-12. I might even have to go out and you guys are probably going to have a top 3, top 5 draft pick this year. Difficult year for you guys to say the least. But who cares? This is a good season. You got a rookie QB who's injured, so why not just tank and maybe even tank this season. Yeah. NFC South, I know I said it's going to be better, and it is, because the Falcons are going to win the division at 10-7. You know, they're not winning the division at 8-9, 9-8. You know, 10-7 is a respectable record, and they're a good team. You know, Falcons are a good team. No reason why they should not take that division. I know the Bucs are very good, but the Falcons do outweigh them in my opinion. Speaking of the Bucs, they're right below them at 8-9. They're a good team. They're a good team. I say this with a lot of teams that are in that range, but that's the truth. They're good teams, but they just don't have enough to play that many meaningful games. But they're still going to be competitive in that division, do not get me wrong. Saints, this is going to be a rough year for the Saints. I'd say 6-11. I won't go out and say they'll bottom the division, but that's a very big possibility. You can even flip-flop the Saints and Panthers. I have the Panthers at 4-13 this year. You can flip-flop them however you want. Those two teams are just it's not gonna be a fun season for them. And that caps it up for the NFC division rankings, and the playoffs are looking like this. Eagles, Lions, Niners, Falcons, Cowboys, Packs, and then the Rams will sneak in there. We'll see how it goes. I would say either the Eagles, Lions, or Niners, much like other years, probably be the team sneaking out. You could put the Cowboys in there just because, even though, yeah, this is getting kind of long. Those are my NFL setting predictions. Take it with a grain of salt, but also I'm going to come back to these because I want to see how I get these right. I think I predicted pretty well. It wasn't, some things are more given than others. Some things are a toss-up, and that's when it gets fun, but I'll definitely come back, maybe even react to this video at the end of the NFL season, once the playoffs are all set, because I definitely want to see what I got wrong on this. All right.